Welcome to a new episode of the Startup Show. Today we're here in Berlin and I'm super excited to meet with the CEO of FinReach, Matthias. Welcome to the Startup Show.
Thanks.
Welcome to a new episode of the Startup Show. I'm your host, Cedric Bullock, and I'm very excited to be here in Berlin. We are here at the BridgeMaker offices, a company builder here in Berlin, which is really exciting. Thank you very much that we can use your offices. And today we are meeting with the CEO of FinReach, which is super exciting. Matthias, maybe you can give us a little bit of background about yourself before we go more into FinReach.
Sure. So first and foremost, thanks for having me. I'm super happy to be here today. So my name is Matthias. I'm the CEO of FinReach. Originally, I'm an engineer. I got my doctorate degree, so more nerdy than business, right? Was CTO of two smaller companies. Then went into management consulting, and then at some point in time I said, well, there needs to be something new, which was in 2015, and this is when I joined FinReach as a CEO. Yeah. And this is it. If I'm not working, I'm either on my bike or petting my two cats.
Okay, nice. Tell me, you made this switch from corporate style to startup style. Maybe you can give us some insights on that transformation.
I mean, I did it twice, right? First from startup to consulting, right? And then from consulting to startup again. So this time I pretty much knew what I had to expect, which was one reason why I wanted to go into a startup. Let's put it that way, there are profound differences, right? And when you're working in a professional service company, as I did, right? At the end of the day, you are a service provider. Yeah. You clearly know what you have to do, right? Basically, your client tells you more or less how you spend your day and your week. Compared to if you are your own boss, the freedom on deciding what to do, when to do, is an order of magnitude higher. And I think that for me, the biggest difference is, as a consultant, you prepare decisions someone else to make, right? Yeah. Whereas as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, you basically really do the decisions. I think there's a 1 or 2 orders of magnitude in kind of difference in preparation, right? How much PowerPoint slides you need to get to a certain point. So this is what I really enjoy having now. Less PowerPoint, more
executing.
More execution and more decisions, yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's go into FinReach. Maybe give us a little bit of your elevator pitch so my audience understands who you are in terms of CEO.
So FinReach, we are offering white label SaaS solution for retail banks. What do we help the banks with is basically at the end of the day leveraging their customer base by giving them plug and play SaaS solutions which they can offer for their clients and increase the customer lifetime value. That's basically it. We started in 2015 with our account switch kit, which allows their customers to switch from an older bank to a new account in less than 10 minutes. Super easy, super convenient, everything. Why is this important for a bank? Because only with an active customer they would earn money, with an inactive customer they would lose money. Mm-hmm. That's actually how we started with the account switch. I would say rather successful in Germany and in Austria as of now. We will be launching in Spain in the next couple of weeks. Italy will follow. We're strongly considering going to the US with that product. Yeah. On top of that, we also will be launching our new product, which is called Herbie. Lead generation, September, October-ish. What does Herbie do? Also, I would say one key problem in retail banking is, so you have this traditional retail banks, or just basically every retail bank, they have a ton of digital interactions on their mobile phone, on their website, etc., etc. But what they actually do have a hard time really getting any value out of this, right? Mm-hmm. Understanding the traffic they have, understanding their audience, and at the end of the day, converting them from a visit or making a good customer experience on the website, which then would later result into a purchase of a given product. Basically, that's what Herbie is solving. How does it do? It has 2 parts. One is what we call behavioral analytics. So Herbie does understand every individual website users, where he currently is in his customer journey, when is the right moment in time to reach out to him. Not too early, right? Because you don't want to bother as a customer and get asked too early, hey, can I help you, right? But at the right moment in time, still not too late, friendly and convenient, hey, can I help you, right? And that's the first part. And then basically on converting this website user first by validating the lead. So we engage him in a conversation where we say, well, this is a customer who wants to talk to a service representative, or this is a customer who only wants to have 2-3 short answers, and then he's ready to do his purchase, to then qualify the lead and then hand it over to either the service center or into branches, etc.
I like to get very practical. I see you work already with a couple of banks. I'm not sure which of them are publicly known, but maybe you can give us, let's say, a sample of like how, let's say, a customer is using it, let's say, in a real, let's say, banking product.
More than 500 banks are using our service. Rather big names such as Deutsche Bank or DKB, Unicredit and the like. Also a lot of more than 100 Sparkassen alone in Germany. And how do they use our account switch? Basically what they're offering their customers, hey, do you want to switch your account? And if a customer says, yes, I want to switch my account, they come to our website where we walk the customer quickly through. How does it work? He logs in with his, let's say he's switching from Commerzbank to Deutsche Bank. So he's logging into his Commerzbank account. We retrieve the transaction history for the customer. We do all the heavy lifting, identify all relevant payment partners. And basically at the end of the day, the customer just has to click for payment partners he wants to notify, and that's about it. Everything is taken care of. And at what he said, right, which date he wants, all the payments are transferred to his new account. Right. So switching from Commerzbank to Deutsche Bank made super easy.
Sure. I saw this type of solution in a different country for telecommunication, where you can switch between providers very easily. What it turned out to is that, bottom line, it's a big competition now between the telecommunication partners because it's getting so easy to switch around. Is there something like, did you tell the banks that this is not going to happen? Because like me as a customer, and now I see that like it's 0.5% cheaper on a huge portfolio, maybe I'll just switch around banks all the time.
I think it would be very naive for either one to believe that switching will become tougher over time, right? I mean, with digitalization, things will be easier, especially switching barrier will be lower, right? And at the end of the day, I think for the bank, it's clear, A, do I want to allow the customers who consider switching to me offer such a service or not? And I think no bank out there will consider, well, I'm not employing it because I don't want to be the bad guy to my competitors, etc. When we look at Germany, I would say almost all banks use some kind of service, right? So it's not a, do I like this service or not, right? But do I want to use the best service or the second best service?
Sure. So, you know, we were introduced by a former guest of mine, Mark Bernecker, who is the CEO of Finleap. You are part of Finleap.
Yes.
Maybe you can give us a little bit of your experience, what it actually means to, you know, grow up in a company builder.
A quick story, how did I ended up with Finleap? I think super straightforward. Back then with my first companies, I sat together with Jan Beckers, right? So when I decided to leave consulting, I said, hey guys, I'll be leaving in a couple of months, right? So if you know anything, let me know, right? Yeah. That's what I did, and so Jan said, hey, you definitely have to talk to Ramin, right? So we met in Berlin, had lunch just around the corner, right? It was very good conversation. So it was kind of clear, okay, the chemistry is, there's a clear fit, right? Which, at least that's my experience, which was important, or extremely important to me, that's a must, right?
Sure.
That was the first check, and then we talked about a couple of ideas. One of them was FinReach, which I particularly, to be fully honest, for the account switch, because I would say it's just really, it's an awesome solution, because everybody in the industry has the same problem. There is no good solution out there, and the technical implementation is like done in 10 seconds, a bit exaggerating. So this is how I actually got introduced and started with Finleap. I was in a lucky position, I would say, that I knew what I wanted to have, right? So I were pretty clear on, hey, this is what I expect from my company builder. For example, a tech team, back then I was myself CTO, but didn't have coded for 7 years, right? So I was like, okay, That's not my territory, so you have to support me on this. So far it has been quite some fun. There's not always a bright sunshine whatsoever, but it's neither in any relationship, be it business-wise or private, right? Sure. At least what I expected. It's a super match to what I was looking for, right. Especially if you say, hey, I want to do something. And for me, it was clearly that I wouldn't have known how to get a good tech team, right? And to have that, I think, easy, accessible solution to have your own company and somebody helping you and not taking care of accounting and that kind of stuff. No, I mean...
Yeah, it's small things.
That's I mean, yes, I also like my numbers, but if I can choose between building a product and spending time on accounting, I do have a slight preference. Let's put it that way, right? For me, it was a really good fit because it allowed me to really focus on the stuff I wanted to focus, right? Everything else was taken care well of, right? So for me, I would do it again in the same situation. So
to wrap up the show, when I first started with my interviews, I actually started in Tel Aviv, then I moved to Zurich, and now I'm excited to hear a little bit about the Berlin startup scene and hear what's going on here in terms of ecosystem.
I think everybody's busy. I think that's the main theme, and this is also what I particularly like about Berlin, right? So everybody is busy, is doing something. I mean, fintech is I would say a big thing, right? And yes, you see a ton of companies out there, a ton of people. I mean, with Finleap now moving to, or already moved to the new head office with I mean, it's a beautiful one, and it's just, I would say, really huge, right? Yeah. So I think it's clear that there will be more to come as Tel Aviv, right, and as San Francisco. The things are ever changing, and I think that's the beauty of it.
Sure. Okay, Matthias. So thank you very much for your insights into FinReach and the Berlin startup ecosystem. Thank you very much, everybody who tuned in today. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you soon with a new episode of the Startup Show. Have a great day.